right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahushai, Ba'Hashem, Rakah HaKudash. Double honors unto the elders and apostles of great millstone who rule well. So I taste to you, Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity. Back to you another lesson through the spirit. All right. This is a lesson of them trying to hide who you are, Jake. They're still trying to do the same thing. And I got a video that shows you that they really don't want you to know who you are. They give you bywords and proverbs. Matter of fact, let's go to that. Esau has given us different names, but not exactly who we are. You know, bywords and proverbs is what they've been giving us, and that's a curse. We've been on a curse, but now is the time that we figure out who we are now. The Lord gave us a certain men in spirit to figure out who we are, man. Deuteronomy 28 and 37. Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee. All right, because they gave us colored, then 10 years later they gave us Negro, 10 years later they gave us black, 10 years later Afro-American. All these different fucking names, but not exactly who we are. They don't give us who we are because they're trying to hide who we really are. Okay, like I said, that's a curse. You know, we've been put up on a curse, but they've always tried to hide who we truly are and what our true nationality is. All right. They stole that, and they want to keep us because they want to buy time. They know their kingdom is fallen. All right. I got a video we're gonna watch. Then we're gonna head towards more precepts, but man, this is real spill here. All the time we were in slavery, we were under curses, you know, to the point where they would use one of our own to preach only parts of the Bible, not the full Bible, all right? They'll use one of our own to preach, you know, obey our masters and, you know, little certain shit like that, but you have our people and put up a seizure boat up in front of our people and get the so-called reverend or pastor, same shit we have today, which has a 501c, same type of situation where they can't say certain things. They can't preach the real Bible. They can't teach the people who they really are today. Same difference, or they will be penalized. or they don't get the benefits. All right, they had the same thing in slavery days. You know, during our even during the bondage in those slavery days, and it was they used that was a form of one of their devices to use one of ours to convince that, you know, what Willie Lynch, the Willie Lynch letter, you know, check it out. And it ain't just the white people; it's all the other nations that are up on knowing who the true Israelites are too, knowing who the true Jews, the 12 tribes are too. It's not just the so-called white man; it's all the other nations too. They all come together, all right, in confederate, all right. Your Ammon, which is Japanese; your Moab, which is Chinese, you know. Your Arabs, which is Ishmael; Ammon, which is East Indians, you know. The Africans, they all know who you are, but they want to keep it secret so they can buy time and to try to manipulate God's plan when it won't work. That's why they put crack into they did Judah, because Judah is the head tribe. They did Judah crazy, man. It was fucked up. Check it out. Get you distracted off the bread and circus. You know, I heard a secret agent, I think they took him out, William Cooper. He had a book called Behold the Pale White Horse. He would speak on high paid athletes for the bread and circus, to keep people all docile and to keep people focused on folly instead of the realness, you know, and high paid athletes. Like, whoa, he was like, why would a fucking basketball player need to be paid like that? But it's a purpose. So our people will be all retarded and think that that's the way to go. All right. And look, as the truth comes out, they have agents, same as those reverends that they have many agents which look like Israelites, but not all Israel's Israel. Okay, that they'll try to convince and pull out lies and illusions so you won't believe the truth.
What happened between then and now that caused them to remember? Someone tell me. I don't care what we have to do. Do whatever it takes to stop this. Whatever it takes to make them forget. Go! Do it now! I know some of you got him hanging on your wall, a black man with locks, but Jesus was not a black man. Now that's more like it.
All right. Got something for that. They have their agents speak speak out against this truth, but it won't work. They have people that work for them. We got 1 Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 11. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men. All right, there's many wicked men getting paychecks out of Israel. You know, was your informants get paid millions of dollars nowadays? Who persuaded many? All right. And you see the video, the guy the last, he was like, man, you know, Jesus is not black. All this bullshit, man. Jesus is out of the tribe of Judah, man. Jesus, Yahushai, first and foremost, his name wasn't Jesus. Salakia. It was Yahushai. Jesus means earth pig. All right. It was Yahushai. And he was, in Revelations 1 and 14 to 15, it tells you what his pigmentation would be. Let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. All right. So, and as you see the next precept, so this device pleased them well. All right. This was a device that Esau used. Esau used to sway the people to not get to the truth of who they really are. All right. Esau cannot have you thinking, knowing who you are. They spend a lot of money to keep you thinking that you're African, you know, thinking that you're all this other shit. You know, they spend a lot of money. All right. Psalms 83. Because they don't want you to know who you are, because it's too much power. It begins there, to know who you truly are, to know your true power. All right, Psalms 83. Because them motherfuckers over there, the 1948ers, they only claim one tribe. You can't be like, where the Levites at? Where the Benjamites at? Where the Zebulun, you know, where the Naphtali at? You know, they won't be able to tell you. All right. Psalms chapter 83, verse 1. Keep not thou silence, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies made a tumult. All right. Thy enemies gathered together, conspiring, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. All right. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people. Crafty counsel against thy people. Against you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. They've taken crafty counsel, man. And consulted against thy hidden ones. All right. We're hidden. We don't, they don't, you know, we're named different names each week. I mean, every 10 years, we're not named after who we truly are. There's no such thing as Israeli, but there's a such thing as an Israelite, and they're here. All right. But they want to hide that from you. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation. You know, that's what they did. That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. All right. That was their plan. It was part of the curses. But now a tabernacle of Jacob is rising. For they have consulted together with one consent that they are confederate against thee. All right. And then it names all the nations that are against thee, with Edom being the number one. All right. And this is true. They want to keep you from your true identity, because they know it's your power. They know it's your power. Now, many Jake won't wake up. Many Jake, you know, but a lot of them will believe if Esau told them. You know, Jake like us, we out on the highways and byways. It's not, you know, it ain't moving them. But of course, many are called, a few are chosen. All right. And then when a great insurrection, a great tribulation happens, in a day of thy power, many will listen. All right, which is coming. All right, which is coming. Many will listen in that day. But their whole aim is to hide who we truly are. All right, and they like to use our own as devices to keep us in the dark. Satan uses his own. Now we got ChatGPT, which they can't really beat around. You gotta, beat around, say certain shit to ChatGPT, but now they got different other things, but they use our own to keep us in the dark. 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. You got to know that he uses his own. He uses us to confuse us. The Lord told us that, and showed us that, even through with Judas Iscariot. That's an example. There's many examples. How the devil uses certain things, man. We have to know. We have to be aware of these tactics. Have discernment. Have circumspect. Because he doesn't. They don't want you to know what's going on. They have a short time. They're still trying to manipulate. Even though they can't, but they still want to manipulate the Lord's prophecies, because it's all prophecy at the end of the day. Revelations chapter 12, verse 12. Therefore, rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. He know that the kingdom of Jacob is coming. He know that his kingdom is falling. He know that there's a tabernacle of David rising in the midst. All right, rising and figuring out, even through all their lies, they see it, and it's ruffling their feathers. Amos chapter 9, verse 11. In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old. All right, those same prophets that were here before, those same spirits that were here before time are here now. All right, and he's sealing up the elect right now. All right, and Esau sees it. Esau still wants to, try his best to manipulate the prophecy, but he can't. He can't do nothing but for it. Can't do nothing against it but for it. All right. Well, with that, I hope this lesson was edifying to the elect. I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kahakodash. Shalom to the elect, Kwam Yasharallah.